Mr. Humason of Westfield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of the Conference Committee report on the Safe Drivers Bill. I wish everyone a good afternoon. I'll be brief. You know, the Safe Driver Conference Committee took over 105 days to craft an acceptable and appropriate compromise between the House and Senate versions of this important and long overdue bill. But I would say that that was about the right amount of time. We had some other things to get around, including the state House and Senate budgets, some other issues, but it was also interesting to see the members of both sides of this team really haggle over the parts of the bill that were most important to them. And so it took a while, but I think it's a good bill, and I'm glad that we've been able to reach this compromise and that we bring the bill before you today. The Conference Committee released our report yesterday and filed the legislation in the clerk's office. Just so everybody knows, it was unanimously agreed upon by all 6 members. All of us on the Conference Committee signed the jacket. I would like to thank my fellow conferees, and we met numerous times, and every member of the Conference Committee was very involved in the process. In the Senate, the chair, the gentleman from Methuen, the gentleman from Barrie, and the gentleman from Weymouth. In the House, myself and the gentleman from Newburyport. I'd especially like to thank my friend, the gentleman from Chicopee, the chairman of the Transportation Committee. Western Massachusetts was very well represented on this Conference Committee. Although we have often debated on opposite sides of issues in the past, it was a pleasure to work alongside the gentleman from Chicopee. He displayed a remarkable knowledge of the very many facets of this complex and controversial issue. So I'd like to say thank you. I'd also like to thank my friend, the Minority Leader, for appointing me to this Conference Committee. When I first got the call 3 months ago, I groaned at the prospect of being involved with this bill because I could just imagine the number of people that were going to call with concerns. As a Republican member of the House, I've often witnessed many times attempts on the part of the majority to minimize the input and contributions of members of the minority. I am very happy to say that that did not occur during this conference process. I found it to be very open, very inclusive, and I believe every member was able to make very positive contributions. I think it was a model conference process. And as I said at our press conference yesterday afternoon, safe driving is not a partisan issue. All motorists and all legislators, be they Democrats or Republicans, want the Commonwealth's roads to be as safe as possible. I have often said throughout this process that we as legislators cannot legislate common sense. You either have it or you don't. There's a comedian out there by the name of Ron White who also goes a little further and says, you can't fix stupid. And ladies and gentlemen, we tried to do that to the best of our ability, but quite frankly, it's stupid for you to text while you drive. It's stupid for you to do a lot of the things that we see people in their cars do. I drive over 100 miles each way from Westfield to Boston along the Massachusetts Turnpike, and I see people do some crazy, crazy things. All kinds of examples of distracted driving, which are already illegal. My hope is that the attention that will come from the passage of this Conference Committee report today will help to raise our constituents and our motorists along the Commonwealth. It'll raise their awareness of this issue of safe driving. The 2 previous speakers got up and spoke pretty well about what's in the bill. I won't repeat that, but I'll just say that I'm very happy about the provision that says that we'll do a public awareness campaign about distracted driving. You may have seen that Oprah Winfrey has been doing commercials across the airwaves of this country, and other sports teams and individuals who have taken it upon themselves to try to raise awareness about this issue. So I would just ask that if you would consider the bill and vote favorably, we can pass this on to the Senate, get it to the governor, and get it into law as soon as possible. Again, thank you to the members of the Conference Committee. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.